Okay, how's everybody doing? So it's time. I'm so glad you're all here. We're so excited. We're all just back from a fabulous, fabulous company trip, an incentive trip um, to Alaska, and we actually had a blast. I know Kenneth here was also on the trip with us. Lots and lots of fun. I'd never been to Alaska, so that was my first time. Totally enjoyed it. We had a blast, but everybody's not all about travel. So I don't want you to think we're a travel club or something here. A lot of people join us for many different reasons. Like we did when we originally got involved in this industry. We really got involved out of a need. My husband had a need to replace his income. He had a very traditional business that didn't get its receivables, and it really forced him out of business at a time where that's really the only skill he had. That's what he knew how to do. Didn't have any additional skills for schooling or anything. So we really didn't know what he was going to do. So this is an industry now we've been in for 33 years. I have told you over time it has grown to something we never imagined. Again, we originally got involved to hopefully, earn some money while he figured out what he was going to do. And it's been 33 years and it's been a blast. And like I said, that trip was super special, but we absolutely love what we do. We've been married for 45 years now. We have three grown boys. We've done well over 200 million in sales, and absolutely love our products, love people, love the industry, just so much good stuff. But we're going to go over what activation is, and that should be probably foremost in your mind because this is such an exciting science that I hope that I can just deliver to you a glimpse of this really just evolving industry. And just we have so many pharmaceutical companies, big companies chasing this magic that we have. And again, I hope you can appreciate how special an opportunity this is. And the timing is just getting better, and I'll tell you that. But we're a publicly traded company. We do have patented products here, activation products. There is a huge demand for people not only to be healthy, but to earn money. We'll address a little bit about that. My husband's going to go over what we need to do, how we get paid, whether it be immediate income, repeat income, the flexibility and the time freedom that this has created, which is something we never thought about when we got involved, and really kind of the systems that we use to go ahead and build this. So LifeVantage is the activation company, and I'm going to explain more about that, but we are the only activation company out there. So it really sets us aside from everything else you might see or even consider at this point. But I just want you to think, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what your situation is tonight, but I look at money, and there's two big barometers to me as far as money, and a lot of that has to do with housing. I see just news article after news article on how the younger generation is not even striving to be a homeowner these days. They just don't see themselves as having the money. And I can even remember when we got married, and my husband did a comparison to when his dad bought his home and the salary his dad as a New York City police officer was making, they were pretty much the same. And by the time we got married, to buy a house, our income, the house costs 4 or 5 times more than our income at that point. And today I can't even imagine what it is. It's probably so much more. So, and then I look at the flip side of how many people, older people looking to retire, maybe been in their home for 20 years, 30 years, are having to get rid of that house because of the expenses and the overhead and stuff. And that's just not right. They've been in that house forever. So there's a lot of issues going on with people needing to make money in different ways and time. We're all working more than we ever did. We work more than any other nation in the world at this point. And you would think, we're the wealthiest country and we work that much more. And all of that, the money issues, the struggle, lack of time, not being able to exercise has a direct correlation to our health. And again, we are one of the sickest countries just in the world at this point. And that's really got to change. And we've got something that can address all of this and that we're so excited about. But you kind of know this. How do people go about making money? They've got a choice to get a job, which most people have. Job stands for just over broke. I mean, they tell you when to take lunch and when you can work and how much you're going to make. Self-employed, That can be a doctor, a dentist. They are trading time, hours for time for money. I mean, they work when they work. We've got many medical people in our company. And what happens is when they go on vacation, they still have to pay the staff, they still have all the overhead, and they're not making money. Or you can start a very traditional business. That's what my husband did. I can tell you numerous times when he was not in the factory, when he was not working his business, he almost lost his business. He made picture frames for a living. I can remember one time we went to Hawaii and they made like 10,000 of the wrong size picture frames. It was all kindling wood. You can imagine what that cost. And that almost put him out of business at that point. So owning your own business means you are totally tied to that business. Don't ever consider taking a vacation because, you need to be there. And investing, not everybody has the money to be able to start investing so that they can make money on their money. You have to have money first before you can go ahead and invest. But we take these products to make it. We empower our bodies to make antioxidants, enzymes, all the things that we need for better health. And I'm going to talk about three big activators. We actually have five. We are going to talk about three big activators, but we're going to talk about the opportunity to earn some money. Maybe you want to get your product for free. Maybe you want to make some money to supplement what you're doing. Maybe you want to make big money like Bob and I. The opportunity to earn free travel. I don't know how many trips we've been on. I know we've been on probably 30 something cruises at this point. We've been in so many countries. But that was a perk we did not expect when we originally got involved. We got involved to earn money. We really do have the opportunity to make a difference for others to help them. And really, it's an opportunity to join a movement. You will absolutely love the people in LifeVantage. It is a great, great community. But this is the first of our products. This is our flagship product. Now, I got to tell you, this is a product that was on the market, failed miserably at GNC. At that point, the company almost went bankrupt. It is a very special product because it needs explanation. And that's why we love these Zooms. This is why we like to educate people, because this is so different than anything else you're going to come out, on the market. So what it does is it addresses a medical term called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is becoming a big word. If you listen to any health podcasts, if you are reading any health books, Good Energy is on the New York Times bestseller now. They're all talking about oxidative stress, not supplementation. That is old school, multivitamins, vitamin C, D, B, whatever you're taking. That is not an exact science, they found out. But by reducing oxidative stress, we reduce all disease, aging, and inflammation. Those are some big things: aging, inflammation, disease. This product reduces that by 40% in the first 30 days. And I have to tell you, there are many companies out there that are chasing a product like this. But we've had this product now, and there are over 30 studies on it. And I'm going to show you more about that. But this is a very special product for keeping people healthy. It actually has a study on it that increases aging as well. So it is a parable. We have so many testimonies on this, but you can see your own antioxidants are more than 1,000,000 times more powerful when taking just this one pill. What's in this one pill? It's a plant-based product. It's got 5 different herbs in it. You may have heard of some of it. Bob and I took turmeric, we took green tea, but there's milk thistle in it. There's bacopa, ashwagandha. But we get such great results with this very special recipe, this very special formulation. In fact, in order to get the same benefits as this one pill, this one plant-based pill, you'd need to ingest every day 400 oranges, 500 cups of broccoli, 110 cups of blueberries, and 120 tablets of vitamin C. Now, that would probably be lethal, but even if you could, think about the cost. Think how expensive if you could do all that. So this is a pretty cool chart here. And what it shows you is as we get older, our oxidative stress levels increase. And they increase greatly, and that's why as we get older, there's more disease, more inflammation, more aging. Staying on Protandim, we reduce a whole decade for every month that you're on Protandim, so that if you're 40 and you've been on it for 4 months, you would now have the blood of a 20-year-old. And wouldn't we all like that? So again, Protandim is the only product out there that's proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And for every month you're on it, reduce a whole decade. So you could do the math on it. But what's really cool is there's this site, typically doctors and pharmacists would go to this site to find out the interactions of, pharmaceutical drugs. Well, there are some 320, there's probably more than that, 320,000 studies on oxidative stress. And you can go there, anybody can go there on your computer, type it in, oxidative stress in any disease state, because oxidative stress affects all over our body, as you can see with this chart. It's our organ, it's our eyes, it's our heart, our skin, kidney, joints, lungs, brain, anything you can imagine is tied into oxidative stress. And so we get great benefits when we can reduce the amount of oxidative stress we have there. These are the studies that large medical universities paid for themselves because this product is such an aha product. In fact, Newsweek has written us, that's the business magazine if you're not familiar, has written us up as being an innovator in medical science. But all these places have done their own studies on different aspects, but all with this product in mind, Protandim. You think about what you might be taking now as far as supplements. I know I always ask people, what do you take now? Do you take a multivitamin, vitamin C? We buy things off the shelf, but are there really any studies on it? Most studies are done on the ingredients, not the product. So that kind of should give you an idea how really truly special this product is. Then about 2.5 years ago, I guess, we brought out a collagen. And I have to tell you, I was like, oh no, there's collagen all over the place. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, and I thought, oh no, we have never done Me Too products because we have NAD, which is big on the market. We have mitochondria health activation. So we have some really great products. But collagen, this is so different because collagen, and I don't know if you knew this, collagen is all over the body. So our eyes are 91% collagen. It's your liver, it's your gut health, it's your joints, your joint pain, nail, hair, skin, wrinkles, all over the place. Literally every cell has collagen in it. It is the largest protein that we have. But you can see here, over just an 8-week study, the amount of collagen density that is increased, because we are the only collagen on the market that actually activates collagen. It makes collagen. And again, we're the only one because we're the activation company. We do replenish like other companies and other products out there, collagen products. They maybe have 1 to 2 different types of peptides of collagen that they're adding to your body, again, trying to supplement. Here we have 10 different types, but what again sets us apart from any other collagen on the market is we turn off a gene that actually destroys collagen. So again, collagen is in every single tissue, so important to keeping everything strong. It's the connective tissue, it's the glue that holds everything together. It's not just a vanity product, but so important for our health as we get older. But you can see on this 8-week clinical trial, our collagen density is increased by 100%. Crow's feet is reduced by 22%. Skin roughness is decreased by 10%. Blood catalase, one of the enzymes that keeps us healthy, so important, is increased by 202%. And skin elasticity by 8%. But what's not in it? No sugar, no artificial sweeteners. It's non-GMO. It is dairy-free. It's gluten-free. And it is soy-free. Now, we had an interesting thing happen. When we got collagen, and what I typically do is tell people to take a picture before they start the collagen and 30 days later. And the company was noticing all the results we were getting, and they're thinking they're getting even better results than our studies beforehand and the results they thought we should be getting. What they didn't take into consideration was that all of the consultants, or most of the consultants and customers, were already using Protandim. So using Protandim and the liquid collagen together greatly enhanced the result, and we call that our glow package. So these are some of the results. I can tell you the lady to my left, She is 70 years old. Look at her neck now. I mean, I know, ladies, you can appreciate that's usually one of the areas that, aging really starts to show up fast. I think your eyes too, your knees. You can see the results that they've gotten, before and after using. That's what we do. We tell people to take pictures. This is Betty. She did a great job of documenting, and we hope if you start tonight that please take your before pictures. I know nobody likes to look at their before pictures without makeup and stuff, but we get some amazing testimonies with people using these products, and we just like to document it. It makes it so exciting. I had a lady just recently, in fact, we met her back on the boat, a customer of ours. She had such great hair growth before and after pictures, just amazing. But the next product line that came out, and this really blew up our company, is weight loss. And you can imagine, look around, how many people need to lose weight, want to lose weight. This is a big, big market for us. We came out with a natural GLP-1 activation. So different, no shots, it's not synthetic, it's not a drug, it's all natural. But we are getting some great results. It's a two-part system, two pills you take in the morning. As soon as you get up, you got to wait 30 minutes. And then it's got, I don't even want to call it a powder because people think of a protein powder. It's this tiny little amount of powder that you can mix with just about anything, water, coffee, whatever you want to mix. But such an easy system that, the studies, there's two clinical trials now that showed 200% increase of the GLP-1 hormone, which again is directly related to weight loss, the way that we have food cravings, the way that we metabolize things, the way it looks on us, losing weight around the middle, the gut health. There's so many benefits to increasing GLP-1. There's heart health, there's brain health, but mostly people want to lose weight. Lose 9 pounds in 8 weeks is what the study showed, and 25 pounds in 12 weeks. And again, that's because we are gradually increasing that hormone to get better results. Really interesting and important is 100% who lost weight maintained their muscle mass. That doesn't happen with the shots. It doesn't happen with the synthetic drugs. And what happens is the more muscle you lose, the less calories you burn, the more weight you gain. So it is so important, particularly us women as we get older, got to keep that muscle mass on. But we lose up to 27% reduction in the visceral fat, that's the fat around the middle, and 5% reduction in body fat. And again, this has got a patent pending. But again, these are some of the benefits. 95% sugar cravings. You know how hard that is to kick. That's like kicking a drug or something. I told you the weight loss, 82% took back control of their relationship with food. They chose smaller portions. 10% total body loss weight, and up to 27% visceral fat. So less noise, you feel fuller, no need to snack, you spend less time thinking about food, fewer late night cravings was a big thing, and then weight loss are all the benefits you can expect. And just look at these results. Again, you can see how it's coming off the middle, and if you're a lady on this, or a woman, that middle spread is it's really hard after menopause. It just gets ridiculous. And you can see the results that these ladies are getting in a pretty quick time. So it's such an exciting, and like I said, this product alone, we could have made a whole company with just this one product. It literally blew up our company. But again, for the sake of time, we have 5 activators. We've got that oxidative stress reduction. We've got mitochondria health, which is the energy at every cellular level. We've got NAD. If you've been on Facebook or NAD, ours is 100% activation first 24 hours. Huge. But we've got shampoo. We've got an amazing skincare, omegas. We've got, brain health. We've got so many different products to help you stay healthy. And really, people are attracted to these products. We've got a reorder rate of 74%. So they're good products. But I get the pleasure and I get the fun of working with my husband and traveling with my husband. And like I said, this business has been so much more than the original reason we got in, just to make some money to hold us over with our opportunity. But we get to work together. So he's really good at numbers. So pay attention closely. Thanks.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's funny. I can't believe I'm married 45 years because my wife's only 39. So I don't know exactly how that works, but every time I hear her do a presentation on the products, I just want to use more of them. That I just want to use more of them. And the Protandim, I do double up. And people say, well, why do you do that? And I'm like, well, I weigh twice as much as she does. So if she takes one, I should take two. That's my logic. It's not on the label, but that's my logic. But let me talk to you a little bit about the business side of things because we were with another company for 25 years and they closed suddenly. And, we had become professionals in this industry. We had done over $200 million in sales with that company. We were actually the top earners in the company when they pulled the plug. And our reason for joining was we wanted to continue to make money. That was our reason. And then we found out that LifeVantage had taken nutrition and supplements and anti-aging and all of these things to a whole new level called activation. Activation is replacing typical supplements. That's what's going on. And we need people to start sharing the information with people. You've never heard of LifeVantage. You know how I know that? Because we were in the industry for 25 years. LifeVantage was in business with it during the same period of time for 8 years. We're in the same space, same industry, and we'd never heard of them. Okay, so the likelihood of somebody else hearing of it, yet we're publicly traded. Okay, we're on the NASDAQ. Okay, we're debt free. We have a lot of good things going for us. But if you believe in timing, think about the products April just talked about, reducing inflammation, reducing disease. Okay, the collagen, what it does for the body and the joints and appearance and all that stuff. And then the natural GLP-1 without the shot. You know what's in the shot? I always like to tell people this. A lot of people don't know it. Poisonous lizard venom is what is in the shot that people take for weight loss with GLP-1. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. But ours is natural. It tastes great. It works well. It's very affordable. But look at the challenges that all the different generations are facing. I don't care if it's the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Everybody's dealing with inflation. There's debt, there's job insecurity. The days of spending 20, 30, 40 years with one job, that doesn't exist anymore. Things changed. Interest rates are high, there's economic uncertainty, housing affordability. And look at, I've had this conversation with my wife so many times. I remember when my dad retired from New York City Police Department, he was 52. He retired. They sold their home on Long Island. We grew up in Long Island. We live in Florida now. And he bought a house in Florida and he was retired. He didn't go get another job. Okay. He was retired. It was over. And now people, when they retire from a job to go get another one in many cases, not everybody, but so we have answers for all of this. Okay. And the reason why my favorite subject here is the money. So I'm going to take a minute to show you a little bit of an explanation. I want you to dream a little bit. I want you to imagine, and I'm going to use the GLP-1 as an example, okay? The weight loss product, because it's just such a big seller for us and over 200 million people just in the United States, and we're in 20 countries, but just in the United States, 200 million people need to lose weight or want to lose weight or manage their weight better. So here's the example. If somebody were to become a customer, okay, you couldn't make less than 20 bucks. 19.99 is the exact, I'm going to call it $20. That's the minimum that you could earn, okay? But once you had four customers, if you go from left to right over here, you would get a 5% bonus and that $20 would go to 26. Once you had eight customers, you'd pick up a 10% bonus. So that $20 would go to almost 33. Once you had 16 customers, that $20 would go to 39. And once there were 32 customers, that $20 is now 45. Now think about this. I want you to understand our reorder rate is off the charts, okay, with all of our products. The industry average is about 19%. Our reorder rate is in the 60s, okay? So it's a really high reorder rate. Think about this. 32 customers on the weight loss product, our GLP-1, You're earning 12, 13, 14, 1500 a month ballpark. That's about 18,000 a year. Now look, that ain't going to make anybody rich, but an extra 18,000 a year that was, I'm going to say, on the passive side because it's a subscription and it goes out automatically every month for many people. So it's not completely passive, but it's kind of like a repeat residual income. I know it's not all the money in the world. It's a very, very small example, but I bet everybody here could find a way to spend it. Okay, it would help with groceries. It might even pay the rent, car payment, and insurance. It'd be a nice supplement to a retirement that already exists. But I want you to follow me for a little bit because I'm going to show you a little bit of the business that April and I are more interested in. Think about you and two. Okay, you and two people. So imagine this. Once you have 32 customers, okay, and it could be a little less than that, but that's the example. You're earning a 30% profit. So 30% on 4,000 in business is 1,200 a month. So that's you. Now think about this, whether it's the collagen where the visuals, the before and afters are stunning, or it's the GLP-1 where the before and afters are stunning. Is it so hard to imagine that from 30 customers, two of them may have an interest in earning 1,200 a month? Okay, well, if they want to earn 1,200 a month, they just got to get their customers like you did. You're earning 10% commission on that, so you're making another 800 bucks. That's 2,000 a month, that's 24,000 a year. Okay, again, not all the money in the world, but think about this. Think about this happening in your little town, your school district, wherever you are, okay? And now let's expand your vision. What if your two got two of their own? Okay, so four more people got involved. You're still doing your thing. The two people you got are doing their thing, and they get two. Okay, well, you're going to earn 7% on commission on those. That's another $1,100 or so a month. We add that up, and now we're close to $40,000 annual. Much of it is residual, okay, passive. Think about that for a second. How many people would like to add 35 or 40,000 to what they already have? Okay, but I think bigger than this, and I'm hoping some of you think bigger too, because the business model that I like is this. Okay, imagine neighborhoods, imagine towns, imagine cities, imagine states, imagine countries. I said we're in 20-something countries now. What if this were Orlando, where I live? What if this was Long Island, where I came from? And what if this was California, where my wife's family is? Well, if I did this scenario three times, it's three times 37,000, it's $111,000. And what if I knew someone in Houston and Dallas, okay, and Tulsa? Well, now that's six. Okay, that's 222,000 annual. You getting the picture? Okay. What if I knew someone in Chicago and Indianapolis and Pittsburgh? Okay. What about this one? What if I knew someone that lived in Europe? What if I knew someone in England or Germany, okay, or the Netherlands or wherever we do? We have people in all those places. We didn't necessarily know them, but people that were in our business knew them. So this can be grown as big as you would like to grow it, and you could keep it as simple as you would like to keep it. That's one of the reasons April and I love it so much, is that there's a place for everybody in it. If you want high six-figure, seven-figure income, there's a home here for you. I have friends that have been in the business 15 years. We're only here 7.5, okay? But I have friends that we've made since we came here that are seven-figure earners, okay? So whatever it is that's pushing your buttons, but keep this in mind. We earn approximately 30% on all our customers month after month after month. It never changes. Okay, and we earn approximately 10% on our teammates that are building a business. Okay, So it's 30 on one, 10 on the other. And then there's perks. We give away Jeeps and trips and leadership bonuses. There's revenue sharing. There's other stuff. But just keep this in mind. Customers pay very well and building teams pays very well. Now, you don't have to take my word for this. We are publicly traded. We are LifeVantage. We're on the NASDAQ, and you can look, LFVN is our symbol, and you can look, and this is our income disclosure statement, okay? And the majority of the people are in this range, okay? Now, April and I have built two executive companies. We're here and here. We have an executive one company that averages 15,000 a month, and we have an executive two that averages about 21,000 a month. So that's about 35,000 a month. But we also have friends making this down here per month. Okay. So it's a wide open opportunity, folks, as far as business goes. Now, what does it take to get involved in this business? That's a good question. Well, it's very affordable. Okay. You can't spend more than $9.99 and you'd get about $1,500 worth of product. And you have your choice. You can get all of the products in your enrollment pack, or you could get the big three that April talked about tonight, okay? And just get three or four of each in there. But the company, there's like 8 different packs to choose from, but there's one really, really cool package that's out there right now. There is a promotion. Okay, and the quantities are limited, and we've been told that they could stop this promotion at any time. But we have our high-speed health pack, and normally, if you add the products up separately along with the distributor kit, okay, it's $412. And the whole thing, distributor kit, the MB product, that's the GLP-1, our fat burn product, our Protandim product, and our NAD product, all of it, along with some coupons, your website, your business tools, the app for your phone, it's discounted to $245. And we have had this started last month, and we have had just a ton of people taking advantage of that package. And again, there's 6 or 8 packages to choose from, but this happens to be at about a 40 some odd percent discount. So it's an amazing option that is available out there for somebody that's ready to start a business, wants to use the product and get off to a fast start. Now, we need more voices, folks. Okay. Our company is doing about a $250 million a year in sales, about 250 million a year. And over 80% of that is customer sales. We are the best kept secret in the world. We need people to help spread the word. We need consultants. We used to call them distributors. Now they want us to say consultants. But you know that you have friends and you have contacts that would be interested in those products April talked about. And you also know there's a lot of people like to be able to work from their phone, work from home, okay, work from a cruise ship while we were seeing Alaska. I mean, this business is portable, it goes with you. And I'm telling you, it's just a priceless opportunity. But I like to quote one of my favorite entrepreneurs, okay? Warren Buffett says this. He's been saying this for a long time. And he's made a bundle. You must position yourself in front of a growth curve, not in the middle or at the end, but at the inception. And then realize that the window of opportunity is always closing. So work like there's no tomorrow. See, nobody's heard of LifeVantage, and very few people have heard about activators. Everybody's heard about supplements. They've been around for many, many decades. But just like our cell phones, and many of you are watching from your phone tonight, they're not attached to the wall anymore with a curly, line, that looks like a piece of spaghetti. I mean, we walk around with mini computers in our pockets. The phones have evolved. Well, supplementation is evolving into activation and reactivating our bodies to behave like they did when we were in our teens, 20s, and 30s. Man, when the world finds out that that's a possibility, business is going to explode, and you have a chance to be in front of it. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to stop my share and go back to everybody's great looking face. Just wave at me so I know you see me. Say hi. Okay, thank you. Here's what I would like you to do. Okay. Sorry, I'm 3 or 4 minutes over. April promised 30 minutes. I do apologize for that. I would like you to get with the person who invited you and let them know what you're thinking. If you want to get some questions answered, text them or call them and say, hey, I have some questions. If you want to get started and take advantage of that $412 being discounted to $245, text them, call them, say, I want to get started. You know, there's a lot of opportunity here, folks. And this meeting that you just saw, it is recorded. We will make sure it gets edited and available so that you could share it with others. Okay, as long as it came out clean, okay, which I think it did. We didn't have any mishaps. So, but please get back to the person that invited you. You may have gotten a text, you may have seen a video on Facebook, you may have gotten a phone call. Just get back to them and let them know that you're interested and say, hey, let's talk. Okay. I'm telling you, folks, don't miss out on this. We had a chance 33 years ago to get with a supplement company that was just getting started. And we ended up staying there for 25 years, and our team did over $200 million in sales. It may earned us over 15 million for ourselves out off those sales. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just willing to be mentored. We were willing to follow instructions and see where it took us. And that's where it took us. And it became a profession that we learned how to do. And now we're anxious to mentor others so they can share in the results. Okay, that's where we are. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time. We never take it for granted. God bless you all. And you know, please get back to the person who invited you. Let them know you were on and get your questions answered. And most important, join us. Okay. And if you want to talk to me or April, they know how to reach us. We can arrange that too. So have a great day, a good evening. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody, and God bless.